the chapter Lost Spring Stories of Stolen Childhood, Part 2 by Anis Jung. In Part 1, we dealt with the story of Sahib, and now I've brought story of Mukesh. Anis Jung in this chapter peeps into the miserable world of these two children who are below the poverty line and they are of almost the same age. She analyzes the conditions, traditions, and exploitation that condemns these children even deeper into poverty. So, इस story में she is analyzing ऐसी चीजें, the traditions, the superstition, whatever is keeping them below poverty line and not letting them come out of it. So we'll be reading the story and we'll find out their bleak world. What is there in the bleak world that keeps them there only? So important questions I'll be dealing with, mind map, and let's begin with the quick wrap up. So Lost Spring, I have divided this chapter, the part 2 of the chapter Lost Spring, into 3 parts. The mind map is divided into these 3 parts so that it will be easy for you to remember the whole chapter. So in the first part, I'll be dealing with Mukesh's dream, the dream to his family's pitiable condition. So it begins from his dream and till the pitiable condition of the family. So the first part, mind map, it will deal with this. So page number 17 and 18, you can keep your book open so that you can relate to the mind map and the chapter. Then the second mind map, it will deal with grandmother's pessimism that rings in every home. This is the page number 18 and 19. After that, the third and the last mind map, it is trap of middlemen to Mukesh's optimism. So it will begin from the trap of middlemen till Mukesh's optimism, that is till the end. So page number 19 and 20. So let's get started quickly. So these are the videos that you should not miss. That is, first one is the part 1 of the same chapter, Lost Spring, the story of Sahib. Then these are a few other chapters and poems. The mind maps are there for your quick revision, so you should not miss these. Quickly, you can go to these videos and watch them. All the links you will get in the description box. Now, here is the first mind map, page number 17 and 18. So, Anis Jung, she talks to Mukesh, she goes and interviews her, and she comes to know that Mukesh wants to be his own master. How he wants to be his own master? Because he wants to become a motor mechanic. And he says that he would love to learn to drive a car. So अनीश चंग उससे पूछती है कि क्या उसे कार चलानी आती है, वो मोटर मैकेनिक बनना चाहता है. So वो कहता है कि मैं कार चलानी सीख लूंगा. Now Anis Jung जो है उसे पता है that this dream of Mukesh, so this dream looms like a mirage amidst the dust of streets that fill his town Firozabad. So उसे पता है कि जो उसका dream है वो एक illusion की तरह है. It looms like a mirage because उसकी ऐसी कंडीशन नहीं है कि वो मैकेनिक बनना सीख सके कहीं जाके, वो अपनी उस पावर्टी से, अपने उस ब्लीक वर्ल्ड से बाहर निकल सके. सो देयरफॉर द ऑथर सेज दैट उसका जो ड्रीम है उसे एक इल्यूजन, एक मिराज की तरह लगता है जो कि उस डस्टी स्ट्रीट्स ऑफ फिरोजाबाद में ही कहीं खो जाएगा. सो देन फिरोजाबाद, देन ऑथर टॉक्स अबाउट फिरोजाबाद. फिरोजाबाद जो है वो फेमस है ग्लास ब्लोइंग इंडस्ट्री के लिए, वेल्डिंग ग्लास, मेकिंग बैंगल्स, एंड ऑल दिस द पीपल हु लिव इन फिरोजाबाद दे आर एंगेज्ड in this type of work. So most of the people, they are in the business of making bangles, and it seems that they are making bangles for all the women in the land. So इतनी bangles वहां बनती है, इतनी families जो है वो इस चीज में इन्वॉल्व है कि ऐसे लगता है कि जैसे वो पूरे जहां की women के लिए bangles बना रहे हैं. So it's a exaggeration, it's hyperbole. After that, the author talks about the pitiable condition in which the children work there. So Mukesh's family जो है वो भी ऐसा ही काम कर रही है, बैंगल मेकिंग में है, and none of them they know कि ये एक illegal काम है अपने बच्चों को जो है इस बिजनेस में या इस काम में भेजना या कोई भी ऐसा काम. So it is illegal but nobody knows that. So author talks about child labor और उसे लगता है कि अगर इन्हें ये पता लग गया कि अगर कभी ये लॉ जो है ये इन्फोर्स कर दिया गया, सो एटलीस्ट 20,000 चिल्ड्रन जो है वो जो इस काम में लगे हुए हैं, दे वुड बी ब्रॉट आउट ऑफ द इंडस्ट्री, दे वुड बी ब्रॉट आउट फ्रॉम इन फ्रंट ऑफ द फर्नेसेस जिनके आगे वो बैठ के ये बैंगल्स जो हैं ये बनाते हैं. सो दे often they tend to lose their eyesight because of the brightness of the brightness and heat in front of which they work. So now after that Mukesh takes the author to his home. Mukesh जो है वो उसे वॉलंटियर करता है कि मैं तुम्हें अपने घर ले जाता हूँ. सो नाउ ऑथर गोज टू दी होम और जैसे ही वो फिरोजाबाद की स्ट्रीट्स में से निकलती है देन शी फाइंड्स दैट the poor condition in which these people they are living. So miserable condition of the streets वहाँ पे slum area जो है वहाँ पे describe करती है author. So the streets they are stinking and there are she walks on the lanes that are choked with garbage and everything it is very miserable. And as she passes all the homes, almost all the homes, they have crumbling walls, wobbly doors, there are no windows. And then she reaches Mukesh's home. Mukesh का भी जो घर है वो भी एक ऐसा ही घर है जिसका जो दरवाजा है the iron door it is wobbly and Mukesh pushes it with his foot. Then she enters और वो जब एंटर करती है इट इज अ हाफ बिल्ट शैक प्रॉपर ना रूफ है ना दीवारें हैं. सो देयर शी फाइंड्स कि एक यंग वुमन फ्रेल यंग वुमन वो एक फायरवुड का स्टोव है. सो what they use for cooking firewood. वहाँ पे कोई गैस नहीं है कोई प्रॉपर किचन नहीं है. सो एक कमरे के ही एक साइड पे एक कॉर्नर में स्टोव रखा है देयर इज फायरवुड और वो पूरी फैमिली के लिए मील बना रही है. सो it's a pitiable condition of the home that the author describes. Then the author describes the family members of Mukesh. उसकी फैमिली में कौन कौन है. So उसकी फैमिली में एक डॉटर इन लॉ है जो यंग वुमन जो खाना बना रही है सबके लिए. सो शी इज द डॉटर इन लॉ एंड शी इज ऑलरेडी इन चार्ज ऑफ 3 men. सो देर आर 3 men. एक उसका हस्बैंड एक मुकेश एंड देयर फादर. और जो फादर है वो already he is emancipated, he is the elder one and he is impoverished, he is also a bangle maker. So despite long years of hard work उसके जो फादर है उसके इतने सालों की मेहनत के बाद भी so he was first a tailor and then he took into bangle making और उसने अभी तक अपना घर जो है वो रेनोवेट नहीं करवा सका है. सो दैट इज द मिजरी दैट द फैमिली इज अंडरगोइंग एंड ही इज नॉट बीन एबल टू सेंड हिज चिल्ड्रन टू स्कूल एंड ऑल he has managed after so many years is just to teach his children what he knows and that is bangle making. So that is the custom in the family. The custom in the family is that when the elder men they come inside the house so the daughter-in-law wails herself. So this is the custom. And then he talks about the plight of Mukesh's father that I've just told you, that after so much of hard work and so many years, even after working for so many years, he has not been able to renovate the house, he has not been able to send his sons to school, and what he has taught his children is just bangle making that he knows. So this is the first part, page number 17 to 18. Now we move on to the second part, page 18 and 19. So now after that grandmother, Mukesh's grandmother, she also talks about the same condition and she says that it is the destiny. She believes in destiny, she believes in karma, and she says that if it is our destiny that we have to be bangle makers, so how can we think of going out of it? So everyone in Firozabad is engaged in this business. The condition of the small children who are working in this industry, it is really pitiable. So all around Firozabad, every house, every yard, one would find spirals of bangles, sunny, gold, paddy green, so different colors. So all bangles one would find everywhere. But young people, they would be seen taking these bangles on small carts and they'll be going out in the town to sell them. And these small children, they'll be sitting in hutments as you can see in this picture. So sitting in small hutments, dark, dingy places, they'll be sitting in front of light, sparkling candles and lamps, welding pieces of colored glass into circles of bangles. So that is why their eyes, they are more adjusted to dark than to the light outside. And because of this, very often they end up losing their eyesight. That is important. The poor condition, the miserable condition that these children have to work in, first thing is it's child labor against law, and then the poor conditions in which they work. So the author talks about all this, the plight, the misery, and the poverty. And then she meets a girl there named Savita. So she talks about Savita. She tells that she is a girl, and like Mukesh, she is also there soldering the glass bangles. And the living condition, again, she talks about it is hopeless. And this girl might not even know the sanctity of the bangles that she is preparing. So these bangles, they are auspicious, and these are, you can say, symbolize auspiciousness in marriage. But this girl might not even know about it. But one day she herself would be bearing those red bangles and draping a red sari, and would be tied in the knot of her marriage. So she says that the conditions of these children, it is so miserable that one cannot even think, they cannot even think of moving out of it. Then she meets someone who has been able to procure a house for the family. So along with Savita is sitting an elderly woman, and her husband says that after all these years, at least he has able to procure a house. He has a house of his own. And that is where author wonders that maybe he has achieved such a feat कि at least उसके पास एक अपना घर तो है, जो बाकी जो उसके आस पास के लोग हैं, all those who are in this business, उनमें से कितने लोग एक ये चीज अचीव नहीं कर सके. So एक घर होना उनके लिए कितनी कितनी बड़ी चीज है. So it is the story of every home. There's poverty, there's lack of money, lack of education, lack of initiative. That is what is keeping them in this business. So generations to generations, they are having the same plight and they are suffering. Now, all the time they've been engaged in hard work. So, as I told, that generation after generation, they are working hard, and they just, what they have achieved is maybe just a meal a day. So, they try the whole day, the whole year, just to arrange for a meal for their family, and because of which they just can't even think of doing something else, because their mind, it is captured just for one thing, at least to fill the stomachs of their family members. Now we move on to the next and the last page, 19 and 20th. So let's see what happens after this. So 19 and 20th. So because of this, the mind, they're just having one thing in their mind, to arrange a meal for their family. So this has made their life dull. There's no initiative. They don't dream. They've stopped rather dreaming. So author questions about organizing themselves into a cooperative. So the young men are there. Mukesh is also there. So author asks them that why don't you organize yourself into a cooperative so that you can just work and sell your own produce. So the answer there is that they are trapped in the vicious cycle, in the vicious circle of middlemen, shahukars, and leaders. So, because of that, they're not able to organize themselves, they are not able to come out, because they have taken maybe money from them, and now they have to return money with interest. And that circle is pushing them or keeping them there only. So, they are trapped now. So they say that even if we get organized, we are the ones who will be hauled up by the police. They'll be beaten, they'll be dragged to jail because they don't have the power to defend themselves. So the leaders, there's no leader among them. Nobody is educated to lead them. So that is their plight, and because of which they are there at that place only and never think or can't even think of moving out. So they are caught in the spiral of poverty to apathy to greed to injustice. So now the author says that she finds there two distinct worlds. So one is the stigma of caste and other is the vicious cycle or circle of शाहूकार्स. So दो ऐसे वर्ल्ड हैं जिसके कारण ये जो लोग हैं वो वहीं के वहीं हैं. बाहर की दुनिया में इतनी एडवांसमेंट हो रही है, वहां पे लोग कहाँ से कहाँ पहुंच गए हैं, देयर इज एजुकेशन, बट these people, they are still trapped there only, and the author finds two distinct worlds there. One, it is the family that is caught in the web of poverty. It is burdened by the stigma of caste in which they are born. So जैसे कि वो grandmother जो वो कहती है कि वो उनकी destiny है, so they believe that it is their destiny. अगर भगवान ने उनको बैंगल मेकर्स की फैमिली में भेजा है, so they have to do that only. और दूसरा है vicious circle of शाहूकार. So money lenders, the leaders, the political leaders, and the shahukars. So because of that, their life has become miserable. Now, together, what they have done, because of this, the elders of the family, they pass on the burden to the young ones. So they tell them कि हम ये कर रहे हैं, तुमने आगे यही करना है, so you have to take care of the family and all that. So the child is overburdened right in the childhood. So वो जो बच्चा है वो इसी सब में बड़ा होता है, and he takes up the same plight, he goes through the same suffering. So he accepts his fate as his father has done. He cannot even dare to leave it and go out and do something else. But Mukesh, so यहाँ पे author जो है, she finds कि मुकेश जो है वो थोड़ा सा डिफरेंट है. At least he has dared to think, he had dared कि वो मोटर मैकेनिक बनना चाहता है, वो बैंगल मेकिंग जो है वो नहीं करना चाहता. So he wants to go to a garage and learn there. And then author asks that whenever he had dreamt of flying a plane. So now to this Mukesh feels a little embarrassed because वो जो प्लेन है सॉरी जो प्लेन है वो उसे उसकी रीच से बहुत ही बाहर लगता है. बट कार्स, ही फाइंड्स दैट एट लीस्ट ही कैन लर्न टू बिकम अ मैकेनिक. वो जो कार्स हैं, क्योंकि वो देखता है कार्स को पास से गुजरता हुआ, एंड ही फील्स दैट ही कैन रीच एट लीस्ट देयर. इट्स नॉट वेरी फार अवे फ्रॉम him to become a mechanic. It is just that he needs to have some courage to go out, to break the custom, to break the tradition, to go out from the business and trying something else. So author जो है वो मुकेश से पूछता है about the planes. So he is embarrassed, but there's still light in his eyes, and he is content to dream of cars. So this is the story of Mukesh. So at least Mukesh is different from others. He thinks that he can go and do something else. He wants to change his destiny. So this is the story, and now let's quickly have a look at the questions, important questions and answers. As usual, I'll give you the link. You click on the link in the description box and the link will take you direct to the answers. And before that, what you have to do, you have to subscribe and you have to like. So here are the questions. So these 6 questions from the first part of the mind map, that is page number 17 and 18. Then these 5 questions are from the next part of the mind map, that is page number 18 and 19. And here last 7 questions from the last 2 pages, page number 19 and 20. You will get all the answers when you will click the link given in the description box. So that's all for today. I hope that this quick revision, quick wrap up is going to help you just before your exams. So bye for now and happy watching.